Writing and speaking precisely help you to think precisely. Hello everybody, my name is Greg Crable and this is my podcast, Something I Learned Yesterday, where I take one issue, often from the world of publishing, and try to explain it in just a few minutes. Bosak's distributed a fun article titled, Copy Editors Know Best, A Journalist's Guide to Avoiding Common Language Missteps. It reminded me of my days as an editor. Now, I had the great good fortune of having two intelligent parents who spoke well and cared about grammar and such. But when I became an editor, I realized how poorly I understood the rules. I had an instinctive sense for what sounded right, but I couldn't tell you why. Working as an editor, with no formal training, by the way, I kept Strunk and White, the AP Style Guide, and the dictionary at my fingertips at all times. I studied books on confusables so I'd know affect versus effect and that sort of thing. The most important skill an editor needs to know is when he should look something up. Some of that language geekiness is still with me to this day. I yell at the TV when someone says further when they mean farther, which when they mean that, or less when they mean fewer. It annoys me when people put an and in the middle of a number. I heard that on the radio this morning. A lot of people don't know that last one, so this is what I mean. 206000 is 206,000. 206,000 is actually 6,200. Think about it for a minute. And no, I don't correct people at cocktail parties. The point of speaking correctly is that it forces you to think precisely, which is a skill we seem to be losing. People are often unable to make careful distinctions between things. Oh, and I promised to explain that versus which. That introduces a clause that's essential to the meaning of a sentence. Which introduces a clause that is not essential to the meaning of the sentence. Now imagine I have two red cars. One is parked in the driveway and one is parked on the street. I ask my friend, would you please get my toolbox out of the red car that's parked in the driveway? The phrase, that's parked in the driveway, is essential to the meaning of the sentence because that's the car that has my toolbox. Now imagine my two cars are a Toyota and a Honda. If I were to say my Honda, which is parked on the street, is low on gasoline, in that case, which is parked on the street is not essential to the meaning of the sentence because I only have one Honda. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can follow the general rule, which is avoid the word which. Deciding whether to use that or which forces you to think logically, and I think that's a good thing. So anyway, that's my thought for today. I think if you're in the business of writing, you really should study up on these things, understand different words, and train yourself to think logically about what you're saying and what you're writing. Speaking of writing, I just recently published a new book on customer data platforms. If you're interested, you can get it an ebook from my website, or you can get the paperback from Amazon.com. Thanks so much for your time.